fans, friends, and trolls alike. I'm that Southern Critic Ken 09. And I did get back from Kamicon yesterday, which was Sunday. I was originally going to do this yesterday, but yeah, when you come back after being away for 3 days, you well, not 3 days, 2 days, you kind of have to get some things in order. So here I am now. It is currently Monday, the 30th. I am filming this. This will probably go up sometime later this week, hopefully before the stream. But anyway, the point of this vid is basically I'm going to explain my experience at this year's Kamicon. So for those of you who don't know, Kamicon is a convention that's in the state of Alabama, Birmingham, BJCC. I was there Friday and Saturday. I had to leave Sunday because, well, when you work, you have to take at least 1 day so that we can get everything back to normal before you go back to the working world. Anyway, let's move on to feedback for Kamicon, even though technically they'd sent out a survey within a month or a couple of weeks to a month for those who went. I'm going to go ahead and give my I'm going to go ahead and state how it was for me in this video. So, if there's anybody from Kamicon watching, here you go. Here's my feedback. So, first thing first, I do want to go ahead and get some of what I felt was some bumps in the road or a little negativity out of the way first. Only for me to actually discover that, well, earlier today I discovered part of it was the fact, through fault of my own, I did not follow the actual more updated Kamicon Facebook page, which is the official Kamicon. So, if you were to go to Kamicon, follow that page. Just saying. So the reason why I brought that up is simply because, and I can't actually state if it was because of the BJCC, all the electronic gear stuff, but I noticed that when it came to the social media, particularly the Twitter page, because I am following them on Twitter, it felt like there was a little bit of a lack of communication. I especially noticed this in the Poke Center, because that's where I spent the majority of my time, when it came especially to the tournament. So, in Kamicon, there's typically a tournament that follows doubles and such, where you go through and the grand prize is a GameStop gift card. Well, that was canceled because not enough people signed up for it. They said there was like 3. Well, an issue that I actually found with that, and this is something I've noticed recently with the Poke Center as well there. The Poke Center is basically one little tiny table in the video game section, which I'm going to get to the positives soon, but one of the things I noticed is that it's not really active on Friday. And then Saturday, it's all wrapped up with the gym leader challenge. But nowhere in there is there anything stating pre-registration for the tournament. Like, there was barely any staff there Friday, and I don't know if there's any factors that kind of interfered with that, but I was sitting there thinking it would make a little more sense for you to, like, start up, like, have some gym leaders there and go ahead and do the gym leader challenge then. Start doing the gym leader challenge then. And also in that time period, open up for pre-registration for the tournament, as well as have pre-registration continue to Saturday. Because for the Pokemon Center, there was no signs for what time the pre-registration was going to be. There was no signs of what the actual tournament was going to be, which I did plan on going into the tournament. Unfortunately, though, I didn't exactly get around to the person who was taking the funds for the tournament. So I just ended up going through and battling the gym leaders. Which, that was perfectly okay for me, but yeah, I think if there's a possible way you can rework, like maybe have a little something for the like once again, like in previous Kamicons, have the Poke Center have its own room. That way they can sit down, they can all plan this out, like make little signs that say, gym leader here, gym leader here, gym leader here, elite 4 member here. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So that way everybody will know, okay, go here to these spots in order to battle. So that way we're all not crammed into this one little tiny area, having to go back and forth, trying to figure out who's the gym leader and such. And even then, you can have place like Pokemon panels in there. I mean, you could have placed the Pokemon game show there as well, which I am so sad I missed that. But anyway, that's basically something that I can say that I think can be improved on is the Poke Center. At least have it in its own room and at least increase communication. Once again, I can't exactly state if it was because something in the building was preventing it, because I don't know if this happened to anybody else who was at the convention, but my phone started acting really, really weird when I was in there, especially in the dealer's room. Because I tried to get a picture with little Karibo, and my outer camera would not work. So I had to reboot my phone completely in order to get it to work. And I heard that somebody else was having the same issue, so I don't know if it's something with the building or what, but yeah. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and get to the main positives that I had with Kamicon. First off, I want to go ahead and say that I did enjoy the fact that I was able to meet your little Karibo. He is somebody who I've actually seen multiple times at Kamicon, but this time I was able to see him more than once. Like, I met him I saw him. How many times did I see him? I saw him at least 3 times Friday, and then at least twice on Saturday, or once on Saturday. I don't know. One or the other. But I did get a chance to sit down and talk with him. It was nice for me to see him there. Which that to me is, okay, there's a little lack of communication on that one, because someone even said on the official Facebook page it was 18 plus, but when you look at the schedule, it's not. Slight lapse in communication there. So yeah, that's definitely one thing I would recommend, is try and see if we can find a way to have communication be improved upon. But then again, like I said, I don't know if it's because there's something weird in the building or not, because I've experienced it with my phone as well, so it could be something along those lines. Another positive that I noted was definitely the dealer's room having the entire exhibit hall to itself. I felt that was definitely a good way to work it out, especially because before they had the autographs and the dealer rooms in it. Got a little cramped after a while, so this allowed them to expand out a bit, and part of the dealer spots were for, like, if you're like Team 4 Star and have your merchandise, or a little Grebo and you have your merchandise, you can go place it in there as well. And it gives fans a chance to go and talk to them one-on-one, and not just having to reserve it for, the autograph line. Speaking of, I don't think I ever saw Little Grebo have his own autograph line, which is why he probably didn't have his booth. But anyway, getting off track there. Another big positive that I have to say is that they moved the game room from this tiny little room where it was last year to one exhibit hall. And that was just the entire game room. And I'm like, that is a big positive, especially considering that video games are huge. Though now if you could just go back and give the Poke Center its own room again, but I'm going to get off that. I'm going to stop beating that dead horse there. It was definitely a really, really good call, because it was so cramped last year. And when they try to do everything, having all the games just centered in that one big room, where you have a stage where you get to, with a projector, you have all the arcade machines, you have the Pokemon Center and the little table again. You had all the computers, all the TVs and computers that could run the fighting games, the fighting game tournaments. And they even had what's it called? I'll figure it out later. There's a game in Japan where there's balls going through the machines. It's like pinball, but it's not, because you collect all the balls as much as you can, try to guide them all the way down, and you collect them and you turn those balls in for prizes. Which I never got a chance to play that, but it looked like it was fun. I do hope that comes back on. Maybe I'll get a chance to sit down and play it. Yeah, that was definitely a big plus. Now, another big plus, and one of the things I really enjoyed, was I really enjoyed going to the Grego game shows, especially the Team 4 Star versus Channel Awesome Family Feud. I was there in the crowd when, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, because I'm pretty certain that's going to be uploaded on YouTube at some point in time. If it is, and I see it, I'll put the link in the description, and that way everybody can go back and watch and see what I experienced. But it was so amazing during that I heard everyone, not everybody, but everybody who was for Team 4 Star in the game, everybody just started chanting Team 4 Star when something happened, and it was just amazing. Of course, I also think I heard the opposing team start chanting Channel Awesome, but I couldn't hear them over Team 4 Star, so there's that as well. That alone was worth going to the game show. And then I went to the Grego Wheel of Fortune, which is basically, it's Wheel of Fortune with anime. And it was so amazing, because when I saw that, one of them only got, what was it, one letter? Yeah, she got one letter, and she got the entire puzzle from that, which that was amazing. And then I was ashamed of myself as a Pokemon fan, because apparently there was a certain phrase that I should have realized right there and then that's what it was, but then, yeah. The fact that I didn't pick that up is kind of a downside for me. Now, another thing that's actually a thing with me, if you can tell in the background, is that I do like collecting plushies. So one of the number one things I was definitely doing was going to the dealer's room and looking to see what all merchandise they had. I was so happy that I saw more Yu-Gi-Oh! Merchandise. So for example, I got a wall scroll that's going to appear on the show some point soon. I found a Dark Side Dimensions Yu-Gi figurine that I'm going to use. I also found where somebody was selling a set of the Millennium Item necklaces, which is like, okay, one point in time I am going to use one of those. So, yeah. There was also one point in time where somebody said that there was a Yu-Gi body pillow, and I'm sitting there like, Okay, we're crossing into that territory, but yeah. For the record, I personally, if you like having body pillows of your favorite characters, that's good for you. You can do whatever you want to do with that. I personally do not like body pillows, so yeah. But one of the number one things that I was especially happy in a way that it was actually released is that the con mascot has a plushie. Guess who's going to be on the set for my show from now on? So yeah, I'm very happy that they released these because Kamicon is a local thing. I was actually, I was a student when I was used to be at the University of Alabama. But yeah, I'm so happy that they have a plushie of the mascot now. So yeah, this little guy's going to be on the set. So again, if you're a staff member of Kamicon and you're watching this, keep an eye for this guy. He's going to be on the set once I finally get the new set up for the review. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the convention. It was still like it was still Comic-Con how I know it, and it was something new. The number one thing I can always say is that if possible, you could work on the communication a little more. I also had an idea for the those who run the Poke Center. So one of the things that happened in the Poke Center is that there was the normal gym leader challenge, but once you beat all 8 gym leaders and you get that shiny as a prize, you go against the Elite Four. So it's like the games in a way, or in this case, instead of Elite Four, it was Elite Three. But you get to go up against them, and at the end, you go up against the champion. I defeated all 8 gym leaders, and I defeated the Elite Four. I could not defeat the champion. But even then, I may not be able to defeat a champion, but the idea that came up is that if on off chance the tournament gets canceled again or they decide not to do the tournament, one of the things that I can suggest you can do is you can still do the 8 gym leaders, you can still do the Elite Four members. I recommend having at least 4 Elite Four members, not 3, like this year. And what you can do is if you have a con goer who defeats all members of the Elite Four, you can do like they do in Sun and Moon. You can present a certificate saying that you are a champion, you are a Pokemon champion of Kamicon. And one of the things that possibly could be offered, if you can work it out, you can offer them, hey, if you're coming back next year, do you want to be an honorary gym leader or an honorary Elite Four? Which gives them the chance to go up and beyond of, okay, we get to go through this. Or, if you start getting all these who are champions, you can create a championship battle. Like, the champion, those who defeated it, go and battle against each other to see who is the actual champion of Comic-Con's Poke Center. I don't know, yeah, something that just came into my head, something that I can look into. If it's actually possible to do that, then by all means, go for it. I'll be there. I'll be there to see if I can do it. So yeah, that about wraps up the my review of Comic-Con. Do I recommend people going to it if they're in the area? Yes, go to the con. Definitely go to the con. It is well worth it. It's one of the biggest cons in the state of Alabama if you can get past the bizarre weather that we have here. Because especially, let's see here. Start of the month we had snow and ice. Then we had spring. Now we're going back to winter. So the weather's all over the place this year. Or this month, I should say. Now, technically it would be this year. Anyway. So yeah. I definitely recommend going to Comic-Con if you're able to. 9 times out of 10, if you do go to Comic-Con, if you want to meet me, I will be there, simply because it's local for me. And if you ever want to meet me, well, here's the thing. If you ever actually want to meet me in real life, if you watch the show, you can find me either in the dealer's room when it opens, and you can also find me in the Poke Center once you've located it. So, it's like I told a friend of mine. If you see Poke Center on the schedules and such, 9 times out of 10, I'll be there. More likely on Saturday if they don't do anything on Friday. Actually, speaking of the dealer's room, I want to go ahead and bring this up. I found it a little strange that the dealer's room closed at 7 on Friday, on 7 on Saturday. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it should be open a little later on Saturday since that is the big day. And a lot of people probably won't be there until later in the afternoon. So I feel like it's a little unfair for those who just get there to realize, oh, dealer's room closes at 7. How am I going to get the anime stuff? So yeah, I would actually be a little more forgiving if they extend the hours from 11 to 9 o'clock. That way there is more chance of, okay, people can come in, they can go into the dealer's room and see what they have and purchase more. Again, just a little something. I don't know if it's something with scheduling or such, but there's something to consider there. But yeah, So I do recommend, especially if you are in the area and you hear about Kamicon, I do recommend that you go to it. It's a wonderful con. I go there every time I get the chance to, and yeah, that's about it I have for the convention. So, also, I'm going to go ahead and mention this while I'm filming this. Keep in mind, for those of you, especially if you went to Comic-Con or the Poke Center and you were a gym leader and you wanted to battle me again on the off chance, this Friday, February 3rd, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I am hosting a special stream where you can battle me. Keep in mind, I don't have a capture card, but you can still go on the internet, you can still fight me. And you can also, if you like, trade Pokemon, because my Sun version is still missing certain Pokemon in the Pokedex. So I'll get all that set up. I'll have a list of Pokemon I need. I'll also create some rules that I will be utilizing for the battles. I will let you know you will be fighting against the one team that I created for the tournament. You'll also be fighting against the team that I created on the fly for the Gym Leader Challenge. So I'll go ahead. I won't release who those are yet. You'll see them when they comes. Now, before I go ahead and end this off, I do want to go ahead and say that if you're new to the channel and you're just watching this, especially if you saw me at Comic-Con and you like what you see and you want to get participating in the live streams, click the subscribe button. You'll be notified when I go live on Fridays from 5 to 8. You can also follow me on Twitter at TSCCat09. You can find me on Facebook at That Southern Critic Cat09. And for those of you who want to find a way to actually communicate me better, I do have an email address you can now send information to. That will be thatsoutherncritic@gmail.com. I always check the email. I always check that email. So if there's anything you want to say, if you want to give a list of recommendations of films I can review, or anything just constructive feedback on the show, you can send the information there. I'll read it, and I will then get to respond to you at least within 48 hours. So yeah, that's about all the time I have for this quick little review of the con, so let me just wander over yonder to continue my work, and I will see all y'all at Friday, February 3rd at 5 p.m. Oh, come on, I defeated Toy Pika. I'll back at one plushie bee. You fail.